Hello and welcome to the IELTS Focus. Today, we're jumping right into a super common topic for speaking part 2. We're going to break down everything you need, the structure, the ideas, and some really great vocabulary to help you nail a high-scoring answer.
All right, let's dive right in. The challenge today is this. Describe an occasion when you were not allowed to use your mobile phone. Now, this is a fantastic topic because, let's be real, pretty much everyone has a story about this. That's the good news. The real key, though, isn't just what story you tell, but how you tell it.
And to help you tell it perfectly, we've got a simple 4-step framework. Think of it as your secret weapon. Introduction, situation, experience, and finally, the feeling and takeaway. Honestly, this is a foolproof way to organize your thoughts so you can easily talk for the full 2 minutes and hit all the important points. It's a real game changer.
Okay, let's start with step 1, the introduction. This is all about setting the scene for your story. You want to grab the examiner's attention right from the get-go and be super clear about what you're going to talk about. Let's make it a strong start, shall we?
So, a fantastic way to kick things off is with a sentence just like this one. I'd like to talk about a specific time when I was strictly prohibited from using my smartphone. It's direct, it's clear, and it already uses some really good vocabulary. The only question is, what do you put in that blank?
Well, you've got tons of options. You could talk about something serious, like a big final exam, or maybe a really formal wedding ceremony. You could even go with something more unique, like a guided tour of a sacred temple. Just pick a story that you can really bring to life with details.
And let's zoom in on that phrase, strictly prohibited. I love this one. It's such a powerful and sophisticated way to say something was not allowed. Right away, when you use a phrase like this, you're showing the examiner that you have a great vocabulary range. Okay, so after your opening, you want to add a little more context. You could say when it happened, like a few years ago or last summer, and then, and this is a great touch, add this little detail about being tech-dependent. It just makes your story so much more personal and, really relatable.
And yeah, this term, tech-dependent, it's just perfect, doesn't it? It nails how so many of us feel about our phones. Using it adds this really modern, relevant layer to your story, which is exactly what you want. All right, let's move on to the next piece of the puzzle. Step 2, the situation. This is where you get into the nitty-gritty. You'll explain the specific rules, and most importantly, you're going to answer the big question. Why? Why couldn't you use your phone?
And here's a great little sentence starter to help you do just that. The reason mobile phones were off limits was that. Answering this why question is what really adds substance and depth to your story. So what could that reason be? Well, maybe it was a security thing, like in an exam. Or maybe it was all about preventing distractions, like at a play or a concert. Or, and this is a really good one, maybe the organizers just wanted to preserve a certain kind of mood. And that brings us to this amazing phrase, solemn atmosphere. I mean, how good is that? It's perfect for talking about places like temples, or maybe a memorial service, or even a super formal ceremony. It just paints such a clear picture with your words, and again, shows off that high-level vocab. Okay, now we're getting to the really good part, the heart of your story. Step 3, the experience. This is where you talk about your personal journey. What was your first reaction, and how did that change over time? And it's so important to be honest here. You could say something like, initially I felt a bit, anxious, restless? And that little detail about instinctively reaching for your phone, oh, that is so relatable. The examiner will totally get that, and it makes your story feel super authentic. And this contrast is everything. You start out on one side feeling all anxious and restless without your phone, but then the experience pulls you over to the other side, where you become focused and engaged and actually present in the moment. That journey, that contrast, that's what makes a story really compelling. And the magic word to signal this shift is however. It's like a turning point in your story. However, as time went on, this tells the examiner you're moving from that initial negative feeling into something new, something more positive. So, what was that positive change for you? Did you find yourself paying closer attention to your surroundings? Maybe you actually started talking to the people around you. Or did you, and I love this phrase, immerse yourself in the moment? And that brings us to the grand finale, our final step, the feeling and takeaway. This is where you wrap it all up. You'll reflect on the whole experience, share what you learned, and really end your story on a powerful, high note. Here is such a strong way to start your conclusion. In the end, being unplugged was surprisingly, you could say, liberating or refreshing, and then connecting it to the idea of a much-needed digital detox. That is a really smart contemporary observation. And just to be clear, a digital detox is exactly what it sounds like, taking a break from all our devices. It is the perfect modern term to sum up this whole experience, and it shows you can talk about modern life with real precision. But to make your conclusion truly memorable, you need to share that aha moment. What was the big lesson? A great way to introduce this is by saying, "It made me realize."
So what was it that you realized? Were you shocked at how, tethered you are to your device? Or maybe you saw how much you miss out on when you're always distracted? Or perhaps you just discovered how incredibly peaceful life can be without that constant need to be connected.
And really, when you think about it, what you experienced was a lesson in mindfulness, just being totally aware of the present moment. Being forced to put that phone away, it let you be truly present. And if you can mention that idea, it shows some really deep reflection and a sophisticated way of thinking.
So there you have it, a complete framework packed with some really powerful vocabulary to help you build a confident, impressive, high-scoring answer. Now it's over to you. Take these building blocks and tell your own story. I'm curious, what valuable lesson will your story teach?